Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Podcast, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Stock movers are in order. This with futures up 21, the VIX 17.15. Stock Movers is a podcast on Apple, on Spotify, YouTube podcast as well. Here's Lisa Mateo.
Okay, I want to start with Juniper Networks. It's ticker JNPR. Shares have been up as much as 8%. The reason why, well, the Justice Department, they settled a lawsuit that was challenging Hewlett-Packard Enterprise's $13 billion takeover of the company. So the Justice Department, they sued to block that deal back in January. That's the backstory. And this decision came just less than 2 weeks before the trial was set to start. So it kind of clears that key hurdle for the takeover. It combines the second and third largest providers of wireless networking solutions for large corporate customers. Of course, the first, Cisco Systems. But HP Enterprise shares, they're also on the rise too. Ticker HPE, their shares have been up as much as 15%. So some big news there. Also big news for today. We all know the Senate begins voting on amendments to President Trump's tax and spending bill. It includes cuts to things like electric vehicle, clean energy credits. And Elon Musk was not happy about that.
Saw that.
Yeah, he said it would be, his quote would be incredibly destructive to the country. So then you look at shares of Tesla, right? Ticker TSLA, their shares have been down more than 1% before the bell. And then you look at companies like NextEra Energy, ticker NEE, their shares dropped as much as 5%. And you even go to Enphase Energy, ticker ENPH, their shares have been down more than 2%. So a big change how the headlines are kind of reflecting on some of the stocks this morning.
Interesting.
And what's also interesting, Palantir, if you remember on Friday, shares really hit bottom. They were on the rebound. Friday was a sell-off. It closed at the worst stock in the S&P 500 on Friday. It fell about 9.4%. That was a close. Ticker PLTR. Before the bell, though, shares are up as much as 5%. So it's starting to rebound. There was some news out this morning. Palantir and Accenture Federal Services, they formed this partnership to provide AI capabilities to U.S. federal agencies. But if you look at the current price, Palantir is set to add $15.3 billion of market cap. As of the last close, the stock has risen 73% this year. It's a Dan Ives favorite. He always talks about that.
I tell you, look at the ANR function, Lisa, 8 buys, 15 holds, and 6 sells. So the street's completely perplexed on what to do with this. Interesting. Okay. The stock's up 72% year to date.
Yeah. And then I'll take you to, since I have a little time, I'll take you to, we do the upgrades, downgrades. This was an upgrade. This is your realm there, Paul. Disney, ticker DIS. Their shares have climbed as much as 2%. They got an upgrade from Jefferies to buy from hold, raise its price target. So they point to things that kind of you talked about, right? Limited risk of park slowdown, upside in the cruise division. They like that. And margin expansion also in the streaming side of things.
The Stock Movers Podcast from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.